After Donald Trump tried to cast himself in a divine light, has Mojtaba Khamenei's camp now turned that very image into a sharp tool of mockery and digital warfare? As Iran's Jesus punch meme explodes online, is Washington now facing a double storm? Viral trolling from Tehran and a Pentagon uproar over so-called fake Bible prayer? While Tehran openly trolls Trump's AI Jesus post, did a star Pentagon guest really lean on a Pulp Fiction monologue and pass it off as scripture during a solemn prayer? In Iran's latest AI clip, Jesus is shown descending into Trump's own image only to smash him into a fiery pit. What message is Tehran trying to send? From AI Jesus art to a suspect Bible verse at the Pentagon, is Washington's attempt to wrap its Iran fight in religious imagery starting to backfire at home and abroad? After Trump's Jesus post drew fierce criticism across the political and religious spectrum, Iran quickly jumped into the fray with its own provocative spin on the same image. On April 14th, Iran's embassy in Tajikistan posted an AI-generated video that shows a digital Jesus striding in and punching Donald Trump square in the face. The roughly 10-second clip on X opens with Jesus descending straight into the same Truth Social tableau Trump had used, turning the president's original self-portrait against him. As the AI Jesus moves toward Trump's character, an automated voice intones "Your reckoning has come," framing the moment like a divine judgment scene. Another voice off-screen yells, "What is this?" before Trump's avatar screams no, only to be hit with a heavy punch that sends him flying in slow motion. Digital blood sprays from Trump's mouth as his body spins backwards and plunges into a fiery pit, a scene that Iranian accounts have gleefully shared as symbolic justice. Trump's now-deleted Truth Social post had shown him in flowing robes, hand outstretched over a man in a hospital bed, mimicking classic depictions of Jesus performing a healing. The image triggered instant backlash, with conservative allies and Christian groups accusing Trump of blasphemy and warning he was crossing a line in portraying himself as Christ-like. Trump later tried to calm the storm by saying the AI art was misunderstood, insisting it actually showed him as a doctor caring for the sick rather than as Jesus himself. Vice President J.D. Vance brushed the controversy off as a joke, arguing that critics simply failed to understand the post and were overreacting to a meme. All this unfolded just as U.S. Secretary of War Pete Hegseth faced his own backlash over a prayer he delivered during a Pentagon service on April 15th. Hegseth reportedly offered up a prayer he labeled CSAR 25:17, meant for combat search and rescue crews flying missions over Iran. Online viewers quickly noticed the wording sounded strikingly similar to Samuel L. Jackson's famous Ezekiel 25:17 monologue from Quentin Tarantino's Pulp Fiction. That film speech is itself a stylized riff, not an actual Bible verse, highlighting that Hegseth appeared to be drawing on movie dialogue rather than scripture. Clips of the moment went viral as critics accused him of dressing up Hollywood lines as sacred scripture during a solemn military prayer. The Pentagon prayer controversy hit just hours before Democrats filed new impeachment articles against Hegseth, adding to the sense of a spiraling political and religious storm. This latest clash over AI Jesus comes on top of Trump's feud with Pope Leo XIV over his Iran policy, with a pontiff warning against apocalyptic rhetoric and Trump refusing to back down. U.S. President Donald Trump on April 12 launched a public attack on Pope Leo XIV over the pontiff's remarks on the Iran war, opening an extraordinary new front in the political fallout from the conflict. Saying he was not a fan of Pope Leo, Trump sharply criticized the Pope for condemning the U.S.-Israeli war on Iran and for taking positions that he claimed were harmful on foreign policy and related issues. Trump ranted against the Pope both while speaking to reporters and in a Truth Social post, making clear that his criticism was not a passing remark but part of a broader public broadside. Trump even went on to claim that Pope Leo became the Catholic leader because of him, adding an unusually personal and self-referential twist to his attack on the pontiff. Donald Trump said, and I quote, "Pope Leo is weak on crime and terrible for foreign policy. He talks about fear of the Trump administration, but doesn't mention the fear that the Catholic Church, and all other Christian organizations, had during COVID when they were arresting priests, ministers, and everybody else, for holding church services, even when going outside, and being 10 and even 20 feet apart. I like his brother Louis much better than I like him, because Louis is all mega. He gets it, and Leo doesn't. I don't want a pope who thinks it's okay for Iran to have a nuclear weapon. I don't want a pope who thinks it's terrible that America attacked Venezuela, a country that was sending massive amounts of drugs into the United States and, even worse, emptying their prisons, including murderers, drug dealers, and killers, into our country. And I don't want a pope who criticizes the President of the United States because I'm doing exactly what I was elected, in a landslide, to do, setting record low numbers in crime, and creating the greatest stock market in history. Leo should be thankful because, as everyone knows, he was a shocking surprise. He wasn't on any list to be Pope, and was only put there by the church because he was an American, and they thought that would be the best way to deal with President Donald J. Trump. If I wasn't in the White House, Leo wouldn't be in the Vatican. Unfortunately, Leo's weak on crime, weak on nuclear weapons, does not sit well with me, nor does the fact that he meets with Obama sympathizers like David Axelrod, a loser from the left who is one of those who wanted churchgoers and clerics to be arrested. Leo should get his act together as Pope, use common sense, stop catering to the radical left, and focus on being a great Pope, not a politician. It's hurting him very badly, and more importantly, it's hurting the Catholic Church." Unquote.
I would say it's holding well. Their military is destroyed. Their whole Navy is underwater. You know that 158 ships are gone. Their Navy's gone. Most of their mine droppers are gone. We have a lot of people, as you know, at 10 o'clock tomorrow, we have a blockade going into effect. That'll be 10 o'clock tomorrow. Other nations are working so that Iran will not be able to sell oil. And that would be very effective. But what we want to do is we want to, and again, we don't need it. What we notice and what we see and what I think is maybe my idea, maybe not, I don't know. But there are many boats heading toward our country to fill up with oil and then go and take it. So they're not going to go through the Hormuz Strait. And ultimately that'll be corrected. But in the meantime, they're using us. We have more oil because of drill, baby, drill. We have more oil than Russia and Saudi Arabia put together. I think Iran is in very bad shape. I think they're very desperate. We had a meeting that lasted 21 hours. We understand the situation better than anybody, and Iran's in very bad shape. And just so you understand, Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. Will not have. There is no way that they're going to get. They still want it, and they made that clear the other night. Iran will not have a nuclear weapon. Oh, I don't know. I don't care if they come back or not. If they don't come back, I'm fine. Their military is gone. Their missiles are largely depleted. The manufacturing capability for missiles and drones is largely defeated. We've been very nice. We haven't ripped down too many bridges. We did one only because they broke their word. They broke their promise. And remember, their promise was that they were going to open the Hormuz Strait. They didn't do it. They lied. We don't like a pope that's going to say that it's okay to have a nuclear weapon. We don't want a pope that says crime is okay in our cities. I don't like it. I'm not a big fan of Pope Leo. He's a very liberal person, and he's a man that doesn't believe in stopping crime. He's a man that doesn't think that we should be toying with a country that wants a nuclear weapon so they can blow up the world. No, I'm not a fan of Pope Leo.
Leo became the first US-born pope last year and has since emerged as a vocal critic of the Iran war, giving his comments unusual weight in both American and international debate. Pope Leo had previously questioned the Trump administration's approach to immigration, showing that his disagreements with Trump extend well beyond the issue of Iran.